Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury goes down Saturday, October 9th. In this video, I break down how it can happen for both fighters. This is your boy JG, exaggeration and experience. Let's go.
You know, the right hand, this one thrown straighter, not a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
Like I said before, y'all, welcome back to the channel. You see the title of the video. I'm going to break down Tyson Fury. I'm going to break down Deontay Wilder and the tools each man possess that they'll need to utilize or clean up in order to find success and a path to victory. If you have not had the opportunity, please like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. This is your boy JG. Let's get into it right now. So as I mentioned, the tools each fighter possesses that will be key to victory. I'm going to start with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, big man, big size. If you've ever seen his fights, you know, he weighs on guys, leans on them, utilizes a lot of dirty boxing, so popping shoulders, putting his, he's 6'9" guy, he's putting his weight on people, forearm, he might do a joint, like grab the back of your head. You see right here how he's handled my man Wilder. And that's a massive, massive advantage for him. Not only against Deontay Wilder, but any heavyweight he would face currently. They don't have the size to stand up to him. Now, if you got good pop, that might work in your favor, but it's going to be important for Tyson Fury to utilize his size and essentially maul Tyson Fury and really utilize dirty boxing and get on the inside of Wilder's power. Because if you get stuck kind of in that weird spot, you end up sleep. Be tired, you get a fucking blanket and put it on you. So that's him utilizing his size, both by weight and height, and some of those questionable tactics. Now, when I think about the dirty boxing aspect of Tyson Fury's game, I think about who the official's going to be. Are they going to allow them to fight? Warnings, taking points, things of that nature. If it's a fight that goes the distance, obviously that's going to be something that you have to consider. So moving right along, the jab of Tyson Fury, which he did a great job of utilizing in the second fight, among other things, is going to be a truth teller. When we get later in this video, I'm going to break down what I think Deontay Wilder needs to go in there to do to combat the way that Tyson Fury came out in the second fight. First fight and second fight, totally different approaches. The jab of Tyson Fury, if it's accurate, if he's in shape to keep pumping it, if he can keep Wilder off of him, will be the truth teller, because at the end of the day, Wilder has to get in a position to where he's in range, where he knows he can put that right hand through Tyson Fury's melon. Yep. Like Gallagher when he uses slate, he just blast your shit. Yep. That's what Wilder's trying to do to Tyson Fury. The jab can change that. We're going to have to see how it plays out. I'm getting ahead of myself. So that Tyson Fury jab, it's going to be something that's going to be crucial to control range, possibly do damage early, and deter Wilder from getting his offense off. The third and final aspect of Tyson Fury's game that's going to have to be spot on is his confidence. And you would say, well, you pro fighter, these dudes go in there, they alpha and they be punching shit, but a lot of the lore with Deontay Wilder, fighters have, even Tyson Fury in the first fight, you just don't want to get hit with that right hand because it's automatic. Like, it's like Steph Curry from 3. This shit is a wrap. Contested, uncontested, it's a wrap. The right hand's a wrap. It's a certainty. The way that Fury fought in the second fight was with an absurd amount of confidence. Walked Wilder down, accepted a couple solid right hands, and just implemented a game plan that was able to, bang up Wilder, hurt him, and eventually, have his corner stop the fight. But if any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's something that happens within that ring or amongst the mess that's been developing behind Tyson Fury as we led up to this point to October 9th, if his confidence is not there, he can get knocked out, and knocked out in a way that, like, we talk about it for many, many moons, straight like that. But those are the keys for Tyson Fury. For me, I'm gonna get into Deontay Wilder right now. The first thing, in my opinion, the most important thing for Deontay Wilder to do is shore up his defensive responsibility. One of the things that I saw that was shocking to me in the second Fury fight, he would get hit with shots. And then if you've ever been inside of a combat sports gym, or you a new guy, or you've been in this position before, I think we all have, and you finally get hit, like the first time you get hit real good, and you might put your hands out and you doing all this, you blinking a lot and shit, you doing all this extra shit, that's inexperience versus, when you've been in there for 40 plus fights and you know how to slip shots, or even if you catch one, you can just kind of take that off the forehead and manipulate it like that. But I've seen Wilder in fights get hit. I've seen him get hurt. He got hurt against Luis Ortiz. I think he got hurt twice, I think, in the first fight with those two. I've seen Wilder in trouble before, come back, bounce back, win, stop a guy, or do enough damage to get a decision victory. In the second Wilder Fury fight, it was like Deontay. I don't want to go, people saying, spiked water and gloves. The glove seems more likely to me than spiked water. But if you take all that away, what I can say is Deontay Wilder does not fight the way that he fought in that second fight. He just looked bad. And seeing him break down defensively, sure, guy weighing on you, but you're not rolling with the shots. Everything seems like a surprise. And so you get yourself in bad defensive positions. And I think that's an area that, Wilder, of course they addressed it. And of course he's gonna be more fluid, I'm sure, and more aware of his spacing and not trying to rush anything. And also not move at Fury's rhythm. One thing that is interesting to me is when Fury comes in and he's fainting and he's herky and jerky, if you watch both fights, Wilder goes for it both times, where he will set his feet, that's not a style, and then start doing this on Tyson Fury's rhythm. It's actually pretty interesting. Wilder has to be Wilder. It just has to be what he dictates. And if he gets stopped or knocked out, but he was doing what he was supposed to be doing to ensure victory for his team and his camp and himself, then I'm good with that, straight like that. So the defensive responsibility. The second thing for Wilder is that jab. Just like Tyson Fury, Wilder has an explosive jab. It's a different jab than Fury's jab, but he has a nice, long, athletic, explosive jab. He gets all the way behind the shoulder on the shot, and it looks good, but he hunts a lot. I keep bringing up the Ortiz fight. Look at this second Luis Ortiz fight, where he just pretty much paws and hunts, and he found his mark. He was able to get him out of there. That's not going to work against Tyson Fury. And add on to that, he has to have a higher output than he typically has. He has to put pressure on Tyson Fury, deter Tyson Fury from just coming in and eating up space. He's got to, for me, if you can get the right hand to the solar plexus or just right to the abdomen there, that's devastating. That's going to make a guy reconsider and get stuck in no man's land, where Tyson Fury definitely wants to avoid, right? That space where you're kind of in range and you don't have a plan and you get blasted away with a right hand. That's what you saw essentially in the first fight. He was just stuck in the middle, in a poor range situation, and just got crushed. But the jab for Deontay Wilder sets up everything. Obviously, that's like most fighters, but it's important for him to be able to disguise that right hand a la Brazil. Step in, nice hard 1-2, very fluid, got him out of there. Even when he gets the shot off against Brazil, he's hella square and kind of reaching across his body. That's a disadvantaged position, but because of the power he possesses in his hands, that's something he's able to do and hurt you in a way where you fall the fuck out and shit like a bag of groceries, But it's going to be crucial to utilize that jab early and often. Like I mentioned before, his output has got to be higher. He's got to give Tyson Fury not a reason to not just walk him down. And this one's obvious. One of the keys to victory, the road to victory for Deontay Wilder, is finding a home for that right hand, and preferably on the right shoulder side where he doesn't have to reach across his body, and it's impressive, but his last several knockouts, they've all been corkscrew, turned over, reaching across. If he can figure out a way to set a trap for Tyson Fury to drift off to that right side, which I'm sure he won't want to be doing all evening, and then come right off the shoulder down the pipe, turning the hip out. No one's going to survive a shot like that. Rumor has it that Deontay Wilder's been crazy accurate in sparring, hurting guys, really landing the right hand at will. And he's never, in both fights against Fury, he's not struggled to land that shot. Periods of inactivity and being stuck in the middle, that has to go away. And he has to create some of the action, not wait on it. So those are the tools for both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Like I mentioned before, I said I chose Wilder, or predicted Wilder to win this fight by knockout. I want to add a caveat on that. I want to see the weigh-in. I'm either going to leave my prediction the same or I'll alter it just a bit. There's a lot of rumors circulating out there around Tyson Fury, whether he trained or not or did what he was supposed to do with the additional time he was allotted when they changed the fight to October 9th. With that being said, it doesn't matter how fancy a boxer he is or how many feints he throws out there or whatever he's doing. He's going to at least have to go 8 rounds with Deontay Wilder, who's in crazy shape. And if it looks good for 1 to 4 rounds, it's probably not going to end well. We've seen Wilder stop dudes in the 10th, 11th, and 12th round. So the power is there all night. We don't want an Andy Ruiz situation. I mentioned that before. You know, guy gets the belts, lives his life. He eating in, fucking in hot dog eating contests, and he's doing everything under the sun. Man, he show up for the rematch, and he looked like motherfucking Pillsbury's doughboy and shit. But that's what I want to see, I don't know. Tyson Fury's a dude that he be looking crazy. He's unorthodox in some ways, so is Wilder. But I believe in his ability to get up there and get punched 3 or 4 times, and if you can't get him out there, he'll probably just lean on you and put it on you. Wilder can win the fight. I'm confident that Wilder can win the fight. All he has to do is just be a little looser, be a little more fluid. He has to have a higher level of output, and take risks. Take risk against Tyson Fury. If you land, you get it. But if you live on the outside and try to be cute and let him box you a la AJ Ruiz too, it's going to be a long, boring night. You can still catch him, but that doesn't favor you, so to speak. That's my breakdown, y'all. I'm going to do another video probably after we see the weigh-ins. It's going to be an exciting night. Saturday, October 9th, T-Mobile Arena, your main event. WBC champion Tyson Fury puts it on the line along with his Ring Magazine belt against the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. To this day. This your boy JG. Hey, like, subscribe, bell icon for notification. You a real one if you made it this far. Shout out to my man Double M. We out.